Alright, part 7. This should be a fairly straightforward and honestly pretty quick video because I really didn't do much to alter any of the clothing. The only alterations I made were to the jeans and the hoodie. Each only had maybe 2 tops. The hoodie, actually, I'm going to start out with because that's the one that you really need to make sure that you get right. Now, Jaune's clothing is mostly athletic cut wear, so you want to get something very form-fitting, and thankfully there is something on Amazon that is a black short-sleeved, athletic cut, no front pouch hoodie. Like I said, available on Amazon. So we kind of lucked out with his design there. I tried the first year that I did a Jaune art cosplay. I tried to make one. Well, not really make one. I had a ask me about my zombie plant hoodie, and I cut the front pocket off, cut the sleeves off to about here, and just kind of called it a day. Oh, and I didn't know how to sew, so got some cheap-ass fabric from Walmart, cut it to size, and hot glued it into the hood. Yeah. Not great. Didn't turn out very well, but thankfully, the year after, I put a little more thought into the clothing, so it turned out much better. So here is the hoodie. It does have a very light brand name on it, but you know, it's black. The chest armor covers it up fine. Let's see. I think it's I think that says. Yeah, I think that's it. I think the company is called Grin and Bear. I hope it's still on Amazon. It would be awesome if it is. And the lining, that is actually the one improvement that I didn't even make. I got one of my cosplay friends, Regina, or the Little Duck Cosplay on Instagram. I commissioned her to sew this in just because, like I said, I'm terrible at sewing. You know, very, very reasonable price. I was actually, you know, very grateful for this. She did an incredible job. You know, it's, I don't want to say seamless because sewing has seams. You know, that you can't really get around that. But the seams that are there are fantastic. So I am very happy with that work. And don't be afraid to ask other people. You don't have to do all of this on your own. Find like a tailor shop even, and the worst thing they can say is no. You know, go anywhere, go to some tailor or seamstress or something. I don't know, seamster. I don't know. And just ask. Say if you're awful at sewing, just say that. Say, hey, I'm really bad at sewing, but I need to have an orange lining in this piece of clothing I have. And even if they can't do it, I guarantee if you ask if they can point you in the right direction, they will. If they don't, they're assholes, and that's not your fault. So that's the only modification that was made to the... Actually, that's not true. You can see where the pull string was. I just kind of, you know, ripped it out, because whatever. I think I cut it, actually. Can I feel... Nope, it wasn't even attached to the inside of the hoodie, so I just kind of pulled it out. No big deal. Yeah, that's a hoodie. And like I said, you need athletic cut, short sleeve, ideally no design on the front, and no front pocket. That's pretty much it. It's very specific, but I am so glad that's on Amazon. That makes my life so much easier. The jeans, let's see. Since I did the battle damage, you know, I had some light, very, very light blood splattering on it. You can see kind of near the dick area there. There's some on that button. Not button, no, the little clasp thingy. And the kneecap, he has a bleached area there, but I forgot how much bleach destroys clothing if you use it in a very, very generous amount. So this just kind of naturally ripped out, but it ripped out in the exact pattern that he has it. So, you know, I guess that works. Makes it a little more real and fits in the world of here. You know, you wouldn't just have a bleached knee for some reason. So I think having the tear and, you know, light bleaching underneath, that works a little better in my opinion. The way I did that, I got a piece of cardboard and I put it into the pant leg right over where I wanted, so that when I put the bleach on, it didn't leach into the back part of the jeans. And then I got a Q-tip, cup of bleach, and just kind of traced out the design. And I only did it once for the lighter part, and I did 2 layers of bleach for the top part. Now you can see his design by either getting screenshots from the show, or like I said, Monty's Facebook still has turnarounds of all the characters up until season 2, but the Jaune model that he uses is from season 1. And you can tell which is which because after season 1, at the start of season 2, the black lines on his forearm that go from the gloves to the elbow pads, they actually completely get rid of that in season 2. So yeah, it actually made it a little easier on cosplayers. I mean, it's just like a Sharpie line, or like, you know, sewing some shoelace even to it. But still, you don't have to do it unless you want to go for the season 1 look. So yeah, that's the jeans, and I got kind of terrified because I thought that was all I had to do, and I didn't know how to end the video, but we still got the shoes. So, shoes, just, you know, Converse All-Star short cut, I don't know. I know there's like high top, I don't know, is this low top? I don't know. I'm bad with shoes. Anyway, yeah, I just got these at Kohl's. You know, they're Converse, they speak for themselves. Again, in season 1, he actually had these, they almost looked like odd Uggs with, black base with a white sole. But season 2, he just kind of started wearing Converse, so easier on us cosplayers. And a little touch that I think, oh man, that actually wore off after Dragon Con, but never mind, I shouldn't have showed that. Anyway, you can see I try, yeah, it looked better before, but that's where my foot hits the ground the most, so rubbed off. But if you pause it just right in the season 3 opening, you can see the underside of his shoes, and he actually writes right and left for the shoes. So you know, that's just, you don't have to do that, but it's a little detail that if you get someone who's like really anal about cosplay, or they know this little fact about him, it's like, oh well, do you have the right and left written on shoes? You can be like, yep. I don't know why I showed my foot there. No one wants to see that. I'm sorry. Alright, I think I'm just gonna end it there. Stupid hobbit feet.